I'm Rick Howard, president of Kingdom Magic Vacations. In my job, I get to travel a lot. I explore the world on land and sea, eating in unique restaurants and discovering interesting locations. I'm always looking for new places to visit, and I want you to travel with me. Welcome to Travel with Rick. Well, hey everybody, on this week's show, we got a really cool show for them, don't we?
We do. We got a fun show.
Yeah. You guys all know Leslie, my wife. Say hi to everybody. Everybody, Leslie, everybody. Anyway, today we're going to be talking to you about our recent cruise. We just got back on Sunday, right? Where did we go?
California.
Went to California, we did. We did a Disney Pixar cruise, actually the inaugural one. John Lassiter said it was the, he wanted to call it the inaugural Disney Pixar cruise. I thought that was pretty cool. Disney Cruise Line and Pixar, for the first time ever, teamed up and did a cruise. So we left from Florida last Saturday and went out to LA and landed in LA, went to Anaheim, spent a day at Disneyland, right?
Yep, we did. We stayed at the resort, Disneyland Resort.
Stayed at the Disneyland Hotel. We have not stayed there in a long time, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So it had gone through a refurbishment since the last we had been there. Of course, we had, from the times previously going out there, we had seen it was going under refurbishment. Right. But wow, what a wonderful change.
Nice rehab.
Yeah.
The pool is all new. They've got a new monorail themed pool there. And the towers are themed. We stayed in the Adventureland Tower, which was really, really nice. And we had a really special dinner too, didn't we? Our first time ever.
We did.
Not our first time ever having dinner. We've had dinner before. But actually, the last time we were out at Disneyland, when we were going on our way to Hawaii, we did not have an opportunity, nor take an opportunity, to eat at the Carthay Circle restaurant. And it's just really an awesome restaurant. The same head chef as Napa Rose, another one of our favorite restaurants there. And Carthay Circle, if you are familiar with it, if you're not, it is on Buena Vista Street right when you first go into the park. So the all-new themed area for California Adventure. You walk down the new street and the new opening, which is just so nice, and you end up right there in the hub where the red car trolleys are at Carthay Circle Theater, and then below it or in it and then above it is Carthay Circle Restaurant. And downstairs you can have appetizers and drinks, which is kind of nice. They have a really nice appetizer menu there. We were looking that over while we were waiting for our table. But upstairs you can go and have dinner, and just a wonderful dinner we had, right?
Yes.
We started off with what did we have? We had some.
I had the quail.
Well, before that, though, we had some grape leaves stuffed with goat cheese.
Goat cheese and some other stuff inside there. Yeah. It was very good, actually.
And a nice big clump of roasted garlic that was just so good.
That was very good.
That was awesome. And then we had some duck wings that I really liked.
Yes, Rick really liked them because they're hot and spicy, and I don't do hot and spicy.
Yeah, they were kind of spicy. They had a little bit of a kick to them, I noticed. I don't know if it was Darkwing Duck. Surely Donald or
no, Rick.
We won't mention that. But the duck wings were really good. And then we went on. You had some quail, right?
Yes, I had the roasted quail, and they were stuffed with peaches.
Nice.
A peach half was inside of them, so it made it very nice and full and a fruity little flavor.
Right. And then I had a nice piece of halibut, kind of in a little bit of a red sauce. It was really good as well. And we skipped dessert, didn't we? That's odd for us.
It is
definitely odd for you. It's not so odd for me, but it's definitely odd for you.
I guess I was full. I wasn't.
Yeah, we had a nice big dinner, but that was really nice. We had a nice day in the park. So that was our first day there. Just kind of getting ready. Went out a day early just so we would make sure that our plane would not be delayed and cause us to miss a cruise. Always a good idea, cruisers. Nice little tip, particularly if you have to fly to your departure destination. You know, make sure you have plenty of time. So if you have some air delays, particularly in the wintertime maybe, or storms or whatever, even strikes sometimes, you know, it's a good idea to get an early start, and it's a good excuse to get to go see Cars Land, right? We really enjoy Cars Land.
Yeah, we do.
While we're there,
we love the Disneyland parks themselves. Both of them, they're just awesome. I love being out there.
Yeah, we had an opportunity. Actually went and rode Small World and spent some time in both parks. But definitely spent some time in California Adventure. Then the next day we had a little bit of time before our shuttle left for the ship, so we went back to Cars Land. Made early park entry, 7:30. We were champs. We were right out there, right? While our regular day guests were lining up for their fast passes for Radiator Springs Racers, we were out already in there. We were leaving by the time the crowds came in.
Right.
Yeah,
and which would be another good reason that if you're going to Disneyland, stay at a Disneyland resort.
She's right.
This way you get early park entry on select days. So when you contact your travel agent, make sure you know which day it is. And you can go and be one of those early park entries and not have to wait in line forever to ride Radiator Springs.
You're very smart. You're a very smart person. I appreciate
try
that. And we know a good travel agent too. If you guys don't know of a travel agent, we know of a good travel agency with lots of good travel agents. So
absolutely.
Certainly check us out at Kingdom Magic Vacations. Sorry, shameless plug right there for that. But that's a good reason to stay on property. It's a good reason to use a travel agent.
Well,
too,
yes,
right?
and they are
because
our sponsor. We need to acknowledge
They are our sponsor, and that's my real job. Your real job too, actually.
Well, it is, but we do sponsor.
Yeah, right. Without Kingdom Magic Vacations, there would be no travel with Rick. That's for sure. So anyway, so we're talking a bit too much about that and a bit too much about the parks, but it was nice to get to go out there a bit early. So we caught our shuttle from Disneyland Hotel and made our way to the Port of LA, which is just a great port, right?
Oh,
just
humongous
awesome
port. Oh, we learned some statistics about the port and how busy it is.
That's right. Yes, it's the largest. Yeah, it's the busiest shipping port in the U.S. Actually, more containers and more traffic come from there than any other port. And what's the one right next to it? Long Beach, I think.
Yeah, Long Beach is nearby.
the second busiest port in the U.S. So I think they said 40% of all the cargo that comes in the United States goes through that port.
And they said something about 16,000 trucks.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, 16,000 containers move out of that port daily, move in and out of that port.
With a transfer truck, with an 18-wheeler? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they pick them up by trailers and then they move them to railheads in different places to, where they're going. Either they go by truck or they go by rail, to their destination, to their ultimate destination. But that's where they come in from China and all parts overseas. So anyway, so we made our way onto the Disney Wonder. And our Captain Fabian was our master and commander of the ship for the week. And we just had an awesome cruise. It's great to be on a small ship again, right?
It was nice. It was definitely different after being on the Dream and Fantasy for a while, and then going back to the Wonder. It was like, wow, there is a big difference.
Yeah, we're supposed to call them classic ships.
Classics.
They're not small ships. They were big enough for a long, long time before we had the Dream and Fantasy, and they are wonderful ships, both the Wonder and the Magic. But this time we were on the Wonder for our Pixar cruise. And so we left the Port of LA. Our first day out, we had a sea day. Just a nice, relaxing day to get started. And boy, was it a Pixar cruise, huh? We had lots of Pixar art. On Deck 5, you guys that are familiar with the Magic and Wonder, you'll know where they have kind of the art gallery going down Deck 5, and they have all the Disney art there normally. Well, through the magic of Imagineering and the pixie dust that they dusted the ship with, all that art had magically changed from Disney art to Pixar art. So they had all kinds of character sketches and original drawings from the movies of Pixar. The Incredibles, Cars 2, Nemo, Toy Story, just lots of Buzz drawings and Woody drawings and Jessie drawings from Toy Story 2. So just lots of cool things, I guess in Toy Story 3 as well. So there were lots of cool things going on there. Disney Pixar movies all over the ship, both in the Walt Disney Theater and in the Buena Vista Theater.
Yes.
So you saw Brave for the first time.
Yes, I did.
While we were on the ship. That was really, really cool. So Mara, those wonderful red locks, right?
Love that hair. love that curly hair.
Yeah. So that was a great movie that Leslie got to see for the first time. And we also saw The Avengers. You had not seen The Avengers.
No.
I know that's not a Pixar movie, but it's a Disney movie. So we can give them a shout out for Disney Marvel.
That was a good movie.
Go Marvel, yeah. So, Andrew and I saw it a lot when we were in Hawaii. We saw the premiere on our Hawaii cruise, but it was good to see that again. So we saw that. Lots of good movies going on all week from Pixar. Cars 2. We saw on the ship.
And then there was Nemo 3D Vision. They were showing that.
Yeah, they premiered Nemo, Finding Nemo. In 3D on the ship. That was really, really cool. So let's talk about our first port. That's our sea day.
Yep.
But our first port you really enjoyed a lot, right?
Oh my goodness.
Our first time there.
Our first time in
Tell them where we were.
We were in San Francisco.
Yeah. We made San Francisco. And it was a really cool thing being in a U.S. port. We had never been on a cruise and visited a U.S. port as a as a destination. I mean, obviously we've departed and arrived in U.S. ports before, but to have a U.S. port as the destination, our phones work. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
To be able to communicate and not have to worry about roaming charges and all those kinds of things. And I was familiar with the currency right off. You know?
Yeah.
I knew what kind of money.
We didn't have to use our converter.
Right. I knew what kind of money I needed when we got off the ship, so that was kind of nice. But San Francisco was a great port, right?
It was. It was from the moment that we were pulling into the bay, it was just mind-blowing to see us going underneath the Golden Gate Bridge.
You got a great picture of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, by accident, truly by accident. If I had tried to get such a lovely picture, it would not have happened. But it was truly an accident, and and then from that moment on, it was just a beautiful, beautiful 2 full days in San.
That was another nice thing about our first port was. I don't think I've ever been on a cruise. I know you have on other lines when you're in St. Petersburg, but I've never been to a port where we actually stayed overnight in a single port.
Yeah.
So we had an overnight in San Francisco. So we got there on Tuesday. Got there on Tuesday, and so we were there Tuesday and Wednesday. So the ship stayed there overnight. That was really kind of cool.
Yes.
So the first day, it was a highlight of mine. I was really looking forward to this, but it turned out to be something you really enjoyed. I think a lot more than you thought you were going to, right?
I had high expectations. Are you talking about Alcatraz?
Alcatraz, right.
Okay.
Yeah, we visited Alcatraz.
Yeah.
So we took a little shuttle boat, a boat tour to go out to the island, the Rock, for all of you Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery fans who have seen Clint Eastwood from the really early, I guess the really true version, or the closest they said to the true version of the Big Escape from Alcatraz in the 40s, I guess it was. So that was kind of cool. And so we toured around Alcatraz. We did a headphone tour, and that was kind of interesting because we scheduled that tour on our own.
We did because
Disney has sold out.
Well, they were, by the time that I went to book it, it was sold out on the ship. So I thought, well, heck, we're overnight, so it's not like I can miss the ship to where it's going to be a problem. So I went ahead and just contacted them directly, the Alcatraz, through the original website for Alcatraz, and scheduled it on our own, which they do offer a discount if you do it in advance.
Online.
You get your ticket, and you schedule your time and all this. It's super easy to do.
Really right there close to the port. It was only like 2 blocks away, or two ports
what they
away.
call 2 ports or something, because it's at a pier.
Yeah, 2 piers away. Yeah, I think we were at 41, or the other way, 37. No, whatever we were.
35.
35, okay, yeah.
And then we were at 35, and then it was at Pier 33.
There you go.
So all you had to do is just walk down the way, and boom, there you were.
Yeah, and it was really nice. So we got in line for our appointed time. You have an appointed time for your shuttle to go out there, and then you can just stay out there as long as you want. Tour around, lot to see, lot to do. You get a set of headsets that kind of guides you around, tells you where to walk. To move to this cell block or move to this dining area or that dining area, and kind of gives you a lot of the history, even with sound effects. Right?
Sound effects, yes. You would hear the prison doors slam, and then you'd hear the prisoners talking.
So they gave you the stories kind of from the prisoner's viewpoint, from the guard's viewpoint, and even from families' viewpoint, because for years, actually, families lived on the island. Families of the guards and I guess the administrative staff and people like that. Actually, so kids grew up on the Rock as well, and they said it was a really nice place to grow up.
Yes, I could imagine.
They enjoyed it, So they would get on the boat, a similar boat to what we took in the morning, and go over to San Francisco and go to school. And then when school's out, they would take the boat back home to the Rock.
Every day. That's crazy.
So it was really fun. Cool. Yeah. So we really enjoyed our time at Alcatraz, viewing the different cell blocks and learning some of the rules of abiding in Alcatraz was kind of cool. And you got a piece of the Rock.
I did. We bought our son it's a big, not a fundraiser, but what do you call it?
Kind of help support it.
Yes, a support because it's
preserved.
because they're preserving the island and refurbishing it, and because it is deteriorating in different areas. So what they're doing is it's called Save the Rock, and you buy a piece of the rock, and we bought it for our son, and then it comes with a little booklet that comes with it that tells more about the island and the prison and the fort and everything else.
Right,
so, yeah.
right. So then after we made her back from there, that took us, I don't know, half a day or so. We were done by 1 or something, right?
Yeah,
so,
right around lunchtime.
Yeah, so we got back, we came back, and then we walked down to Pier 39, which is kind of a really famous area. Fisherman's Wharf, you guys may know it by. Again, our first time in San Francisco. So we've read about The Rock and saw movies about The Rock, and we've always heard about Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah.
So that was something I was really looking forward to. You guys know the foodie that I am. I really wanted to get down there and check out. Did not know that sourdough bread was as big as it was in San Francisco, but definitely knew that seafood was going to be big. And so we went in search of some good seafood, some crab and sourdough bread. But what did we find instead? Leslie had her first In-N-Out burger in San Francisco. So we're walking along looking for a place to catch a snack, and all of a sudden I see that big sign.
That yellow arch.
Yeah. And so we found out that that's the only In-N-Out burger location that does not have a drive-through.
Are they all drive-thrus?
Yeah, I guess
they're
so.
They're not sit-down dining restaurants?
Well, no, they all have an inside, but they also have a drive-through to them, just like I guess any other fast serve restaurant type of thing that
I didn't realize that.
you can go inside and eat, or you can go through a drive-through. But the way this is situated right around that main street, right around Fisherman's Wharf, there's just no way for them to have a drive-through area, because it's actually a storefront location rather than a single standalone building location. So Leslie had her first In-N-Out burger. I was so glad that we finally got to, because you were actually asking me about them when we were in Anaheim.
I did. I asked if there was one close by.
There's just not one that
Anaheim
close,
at Disneyland parks.
I did read a tip on Foursquare, though, that if you're staying, that if you have a layover in LAX, that there is a way you can take a shuttle bus. If you take one of the park and ride shuttles, that you can actually go to an In-N-Out burger, because they share a parking lot with the long-term parking there. So that's a tip for you too, that we learned this time. We didn't do it, but we learned that. So yeah, we had a snack on the In-N-Out burger, and then it was back to the ship because we had dinner. So had a lot of good meals on there. Big shout out to Madara and That Tree. Our servers awesome. On this time. Yeah, That Tree was just right on the ball, and Madara was too. Just really nice and accommodating, as always the Disney cast members are. The crew is just so wonderful. Big shout out to Jesus and Luis and Latoya, all of our friends in Promenade Lounge. They took really good care of us in between dining and the theater, or between theater and the dining. We had late dining. And that was just really awesome. A lot of great shows on the ship. Toy Story we saw, and Disney Dreams, just really, really cool. A couple good entertainers, right? We had a couple of guys from LA that were just funny. I don't recall their names, but they were so funny. But a couple of guys that were just awesome, and then had a ventriloquist that was kind of cool.
He was funny.
All right, so our next day in San Francisco, we need to kind of move things along here.
Oh, okay.
The next day in San Francisco, we had a really, really nice time. We had been looking forward to, just like Alcatraz, we've been looking forward to visiting the Walt Disney Family Museum, which is actually just a few blocks away from the port in San Francisco.
It's quite a bit away.
So I don't know, 15-minute drive or so. Well, maybe our bus took longer in traffic, but it's a ways away. So you can't walk there. I'm not even saying
walk.
that.
You need to take taxi.
You rent a car or something. Our table mates rented a car, and they went and did it on our own. We did schedule that through Disney short excursions to do that. Unfortunately, we don't have any video for you for that. Not even any pictures. They don't allow you to take pictures in there. But I tell you, if you're a Disney buff like I know most of you are, you've got to do that museum, right?
Yeah, it was really neat.
It was so cool. We were able to take a couple of pictures outside. We got some of the awards that Walt had won, and a few other things. Snapped a picture of his Oscars.
Yeah, those were the Oscars for Snow White
and the Seven Dwarfs, the big one and the little ones. That's always cool to see.
Yeah, it is. That was really
and so just lots and lots of rooms and information on how the studio started. Lots of great quotes by Walt, lots of great footage of Walt creating movies like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Just all the movies and all the things. There's a room dedicated to Oswald the Rabbit, a room dedicated to how Mickey Mouse came out of that, Walt losing Oswald and then creating Mickey on a train trip between New York and the studios in LA, and just lots of cool stuff. So it was just really, so I had to have this huge layout of Disneyland Park, which was really, really awesome to see. And then the last room was the real tearjerker for me, and I don't normally get, you're usually the one who gets a lot more emotional about stuff than I do, but they had a whole, at the exit, or near the exit, they had a whole room dedicated to, not dedicated to, but that actually went through, you know, the last days of Walt's illness, and then how he ultimately, you know, they had the announcement that Walt had died, and all of that. So it was really, really tough to go through there. The cast that worked there, they say they have to be careful walking through there because it is so just emotional for everybody. Have a nice gift shop there, though.
Oh, of course. Got to have a nice gift shop at the end of your tour.
Yeah. So Leslie definitely made a trip there and added a Minnie Mouse to your collection.
I did. I love Minnie Mouses.
Leslie collects Minnie Mouses. So we added that to her collection, and then we went up and saw the Twin Peaks, which is the highest point in San Francisco. Looked out on the city. Took a trip back through part of Chinatown and just toured around the city a bit on the way back.
Went to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Went to the Golden Gate Bridge. What an phenomenal, incredible sight, right? You see pictures of it. You know, it's one of those things, just like, you know, many places that you visit, you just have no idea till you get there. You know, it just takes your breath away, right?
Well, it does. And it wasn't that we just went to the bridge. I mean, they have it's because it's a state park. They have a building specifically for the bridge, and it books and tells all about the history and this, that, and the other about the whole area. But you can actually walk out from there onto the bridge. Kind
of feel it jolting a little bit as it swings, and it's really kind of takes your breath away a little bit.
I didn't walk out too far because I didn't like that feeling that, but it was pretty cool too.
Yeah, it was nice to experience it. Just a phenomenal sight, and we had a wonderful day for it. Just great weather in San Francisco.
Yes.
So they say many times it's so foggy and so cloudy there. You know, the clouds are low that you actually can't even see the bridge, and we had a great view.
We had 2 full days of beautiful Golden Gate Bridge views.
70-degree weather. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, 60s.
It was cool.
Like that.
It was a little cool there.
Cool.
It was sweatshirt
60s.
weather. Yeah,
yes,
we were enjoying it, particularly after how hot it was in LA. It was like 102 in LA, so just incredibly hot that day that we got there and spent in Cars Land. So it's nice cool off there, and so after we left our tour and saw Twin Peaks, went back through Chinatown, then we made our way down to Pier 39, which was a hoot. Right? Saw some sea lions, which you really love.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about those little guys. Yeah, they were down behind that's actually at Fisherman's
Wharf.
Yes, and it was they have little piers or little docks, I guess, for them to hang out on, and they are so cute out there talking and
they interact really well with each other and playful and push each other off the barges and stuff. That was really, really cool. And so this time we didn't go to In-N-Out Burger, but we did find some Boudin. That's the name of that place that we ate at Fisherman's Wharf. I was trying to remember the restaurant that we went to there, but there are lots of just a whole big market, you know, and everybody's pulling you. It's kind of like going to Mexico and buying souvenirs. You know, all the guys are trying to pull you into their seafood restaurant and sell you crab cakes and bread bowls and all kinds of things. But we found a nice place to get the best sourdough bread. Man, this sourdough bread was just amazing, wasn't it?
We were
hungry.
We were hungry.
You were hungry because we devoured a sourdough bread bowl with some great vegetable soup in it. It was just awesome.
Yeah, it was a tomato soup.
Yeah, tomato soup
and
vegetable.
No, it didn't have vegetables in it. It was croutons.
Who do I know?
And Parmesan cheese in it.
Right, yeah, that was great.
Very
and crab cakes.
And crab cakes,
Yeah,
yes.
so we had a nice crab cake to go along with that. So we can say we've indulged in the sourdough bread and had some crab cakes in San Francisco. So then we had a nice night, passed under the Golden Gate Bridge leaving. Didn't get any pictures, but that was pretty awesome to see around 10 p.m. or so when we were leaving.
Yes, right. It was late at night.
We wouldn't have been able to get pictures there. Yeah, and so we saw that out the porthole from Cadillacs. Imagine that.
We were
one of our favorite lounges, and sitting down there listening to some stylings of Billy Joel or somebody on the piano there. Just awesome stuff. Yeah, they played Billy Joel and Elton John nights and different things like that.
Yeah, he played that type of music.
Entertainer.
Yeah,
they
he
do
was
that.
good.
He was very good. Yeah, really, really good. So that was awesome. So the next day had another sea day between San Diego. So just more Pixar stuff going on. A guy you may have heard of. What's his name? He works at the studios. Oh yeah, John Lasseter was on our ship, on our cruise, which was really, really cool. He was scheduled to give an hour talk. He gave a 2 hour and 15 minute talk.
Oh yeah, there was and it was just you just so good,
chock full of information.
You just didn't
like
want him to stop talking.
Yeah, because he showed slides and talked all about how he began as an animator and how he had always wanted to work at the Walt Disney Studios, and how he went to Cal Arts and learned to be an animator from the 9 old men. I mean, he was in the first class ever taught that Walt. Actually, when Walt passed away, they were in progress of building this studio, the animation school at Cal Arts, and he actually loaned the school his 9 old men to teach there, and so they taught that. And John Lasseter was in the first year that school was open. He was there, and then Tim Burton was in the second year. He started the year after. So a lot of great animators and a lot of great Disney Imagineers came out of that. So he told all of those stories, and then how he went to work at Pixar after being fired from Disney. Imagine that. John Lasseter was fired from Disney Studios, and then went on to work for Pixar, or went on to work for a division of LucasArts, which became Pixar when Steve Jobs bought it. And then how he was became one of the top guy now at Pixar, and told all of those stories, and even got a little choked up when he talked about Buzz going into the Smithsonian Institute. Yeah, he showed Buzz. Buzz went to the space station, and we now know that he is spent more time in space than any other astronaut in history. So Buzz has that record, and because of that, he was. They asked if they would include that Buzz in the Smithsonian Institute. So John gladly gave him that, and got choked up about telling that story of how cool it was to have one of his characters be part of the Smithsonian Institute, which was really, really cool. So we had another great day at sea, some more great food, lots of great stuff going on around the ship, and our next port, wonderful port of San Diego. Yeah, I had a blast there. Right,
it was our first time. Disney's
first time going into
San Diego.
Any Disney ship going into San Diego, but not our first time in San Diego.
No, it's not our first time.
Yeah, we have been there before. So we just took a trolley around and visited San Diego, and had a blast there. Found some great Mexican food.
Went to Old Town.
And went to Old Town and
got
did
off
that stuff.
A trolley and ate there. And
had just a great day in San Diego. Wonderful weather there.
Oh,
too.
yeah, always.
In the 80s, just really, really nice. So toured all around San Diego, learned a lot of history about that and everything, and then back to the ship. More stuff going on there, more movies, lots of great shows, lots of great food, and then it was off to one of our favorite ports in the world. You heard Andrew and I kid about the port of Ensenada, Mexico.
Don't let them fool you. This was a wonderful place to be. I loved it. I had all these visions in my mind of what this port was going to be like based on your talking to me through the course of your travels.
Usually I just go to Starbucks in Ensenada and check email.
Well, that's because I wasn't there with you.
That's
and
true.
Because I was there with you, we go out and we do things.
So we
explored.
We did explore. We did a taste of Mexico. So we learned to cook. We love Mexican food.
Yes.
So we learned to cook some Mexican food. We learned to make tacos, and we learned to make guacamole.
But Mexican style.
Yeah, we learned to make guacamole, and we learned to make enchiladas, and we learned to make pico de gallo, or Mexican salsa, and then we did something that was really cool. We found El Gordito, a food cart, which some of you may know I'm a huge fan of Anthony Bourdain and No Reservations, and this was a food cart that he had actually visited, and so we went in search of this particular food cart, and we found some of the best fish tacos. Leslie loves fish tacos. We found some great fish tacos and ceviche there. I can't believe that you ate out of this food cart.
Oh, I know.
But it was so good.
I figured I'd deal with it later if there were any issues.
There were no repercussions afterwards. We had some wonderful seafood
awesome.
with some great local people. Buck tacos. It was just incredible. And that was just an awesome day in Ensenada. We did really have a good time there. We explored around. Made our way back to the ship, had our final night on the ship, and then back to the port of LA. And I took a great shot in the morning that we got off the ship. My window on the world that day was the sun coming up.
Oh, that was very good.
Over the spanning bridge, and I put it on Facebook. A couple of people said it was a great picture. I don't know. I just point and click, and sometimes they come out okay. And this one, I guess, Barry Brewer, who is one of my friends on Facebook, who is a photographer, said it was a great picture and told me about leading lines and composition and things I don't understand. I just click, and it was just a great picture. So, but it did come out nice. So, but it turned out to be just a wonderful cruise. I had a wonderful time with you, sweetie.
Well, I enjoyed myself too. A good thing we did.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that we didn't mention was all the characters on there.
Yes.
We saw lots of. We talked about the Disney art, the Pixar art. Mm-hmm. We talked about, of course, John Lasseter. Jay Ward spoke. Jay Ward was really cool. He was one of the Imagineers from Pixar who worked on Radiator Springs Racers in the new Cars land. He showed lots of great slides and movies and clips all about how they animate the characters' mouths and give them personality. Give them personality in Radiator Springs Racers. You know, it's one thing to do it on a computer for a movie, but then to actually make a car, you know, a real object, you know, one of the cars, and you know how they make Mater talk, and how they make, you know, Buzz Lightyear, how they make Lightning McQueen and Sally talk, and how, you know, some cars have bumpers for lower, and then some cars actually have mouths, and you know, and they showed the different kinds of lips and mouths and teeth and things that they do on the cars. Just really incredible. So he gave a great backstage, behind the scenes look. At Radiator Springs Racers. That was just awesome.
Oh, what very educational.
Yeah, so not only do we have Pixar employees and animators and Imagineers and John Lasseter, but we also had great characters on there.
Yeah.
Buzz came out and Woody came out. The Incredibles were there. The characters from Up. Carl and Doug and Russell were all there.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool. And I think I mentioned The Incredibles. So that was just awesome to have the Pixar characters. And of course the Disney characters are there too. Minnie and Mickey and of course Pluto and Chip and Dale and Goofy. Yeah, they're always
Mickey.
there. Yeah. So that was just awesome to see all the characters plus the Pixar characters. So if you get an opportunity, I think we may see these again. Of course, there are 3 more. We did the first one. There's 4 this season, and I think maybe from the way John was talking, we might see these back again.
That'd be nice.
West Coast. Yeah, that'll be cool. So anyway, that's going to wrap up all of that cruise stuff. You wanted to mention some of the comments from our Alani show.
I do. I was reading some of those comments. My question of the day at that time was, "What is your favorite flower?" Mm-hmm. And I have to say, we got a lot of response to this question, and I have to say, John, your wildflowers, I really like that because the wildflowers are always so interesting and fun to look at when you travel around the world. And Kevin with his Gerber daisies, I love those with the thick stem to them. And then Penny with the smell of the gardenias. What a fragrance do those little guys have. And then Peggy loves her carnations. And I like carnations because you can put them in color, like food color, and then they'll change color. That is so neat to do when, you know, like a science experiment as a kid. And then we had Chris with his tulips. He stayed at the Golden Tulip in Aruba, and so he says, so I guess my favorite will be the tulips for this
awesome.
time. Then we had Mary with her sunflowers, and Bob mentioned his orchids. Oh, what a complicated flower that is to grow. I'm not very good at growing orchids, but I do have one. It sits out in my tree here. And then Catherine also remarked about the sunflower, and Kathy with her teacup roses. So those are very pretty because those are, I think, very small roses that grow in little clusters, if I remember that correctly. And we had a few more. I was quickly writing them down before the show, and so I did not get everybody's, and I'm so sorry, but this was a great response, and thank you so much for watching our show and responding to the question. That's
Absolutely.
very neat. I
Absolutely.
like that.
And so did you tell them when you asked the question what your favorite flower is?
My favorite flower? Yeah, I'd have to say my favorite flower are tulips. I have tulips and the hydrangeas, which are really primarily grown in the South. In Georgia, they're very popular in Georgia, and so between tulips and hydrangeas, yes.
All right, so only had a few comments on last week's show. I think maybe it's because we put so many videos up there, you guys couldn't find your way down to the comment box, but we did have a few good comments. Mary says, what a fantastic, informative, and an exciting show. Andrew did a wonderful job reading our comments, and he's also personable on camera. He is. I think he's trying to take my job, you know. I don't know. I know he had to close out our show last week because we were on the ship. She says her favorite animal is the elephant. I get so excited when I see them on the safari over at the Animal Kingdom.
Aww.
I'm so looking forward to watching the Food and Wine Festival. I can't wait. We're leaving tomorrow. Every night, you guys rock. Thanks for another great episode. Well, thank you, Mary, for watching, and I think you guys rock. Catherine says, favorite animal, definitely the mighty lion. Not only is it powerful, but it's graceful as well. Not to mention, it's also my astrological sign, Leo. This was a really fun episode. Can't wait for the next. I look forward to each week another episode. Well, thank you very much, Catherine. And then Bob says, hi, Rick and guys. What a great trip. I can't wait to go to Costa Rica. It seems like Adventures by Disney takes you on a really well-rounded trip through Costa Rica. I love all kinds of animals. Domestically, I love cats and dogs. But out in the wild, I love buffalo, American bison, big cats, and elephants. That's awesome. We saw some great bison when we were out in Wyoming.
Yeah, right? on an ABD.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And our winner, we put those 6 through our random.org and came up with John Broadwater, number 2. He says, great show. Animal I like the best is the panda bear. The reason why is their coloring and the way they live. Plus, you just want to hug them. Can't wait to see the Food and Wine Festival. See you next week. Yeah, we're so looking forward to the Food and Wine Festival. We're excited. And John, what we've got for you this week for commenting and for being drawn as our winner is this great memory book, photo album that we have here. 50 sheets, holds 200 4x6 photos. Acid-free and PVC-free. I'm reading the label on the back there, but it's a spiral brown, nice little booklet there. So, John, I'll drop you an email. Just reply back to that email with your address, and we'll get a copy of this book out to you. And remember, starting October 1st. That is Monday. We're going to be doing an episode a day. You won't want to miss it. We're going to be doing daily episodes for the whole month of October. As Andrew announced on our big announcement, you know, we love Food and Wine Festival, and we're going to be taking you there every day. Our goal is to eat all the way around Food and Wine Festival and try everything there. We've got 30 days to do it. I guess 31 days to do it. But we've already got it mapped out. We know where we're going. We're definitely taking you guys with us. So you don't want to miss a day of Food and Wine Festival. Forget this weekly stuff for October, man. We're going every day. We're going to be bringing you something new from Epcot's Food and Wine Festival, one of our favorite times of year there. You're coming up, right?
Some of the days I'll be there, yeah. I won't be there all the time, but I'll be there some of the days. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun show.
Have a lot of great food, have a lot of great wine. I hear Kim Crawford is all over New Zealand.
Oh, no way.
New Zealand, they're featuring Kim Crawford wines, which is one of my very favorite wines.
Very good.
Love some Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc, so we're looking forward to that. We're definitely looking forward to bringing it to you guys. So keep watching us, keep commenting. You guys know we love hearing from you, and we hope to see you right back here on Tuesday. What is that?
Question of the day.
Question of the week. We almost forgot. I'm almost out of here. Thank you for reminding me. She's pointing and I'm trying to read and figure out what it is. All right, so we got to ask a question for next week. I don't know how we're going to do this. Andrew will figure out how we're doing the drawing and all that stuff. But anyway, you guys got to leave a comment for this week's show. So there you go. What's our question of the week, sweetie?
Our question of the week is, what is your favorite Pixar character?
There you go. We're just on a Pixar cruise.
We were. I just figured it would be appropriate.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's a great question. So remember, leave us a comment below. You guys know we love hearing from you. Your question,
love it.
Your comments are like oxygen. I say that all the time, but it's true. I love reading your comments. I love hearing. I want to hear from more than 6 of you this week, though. I only had 6 last week. So leave your comment below, and be sure, don't miss a day of Food and Wine Festival. We're going to have a blast bringing you there. We're going to have a blast, and it's going to be wonderful. Ken, Amanda, Amanda, Tony, a lot of people are coming out. We're going to have a great time. You'll be there. John Donahue, we hope, is going to be there. He's really busy.
And what about
Barry and Sarah are going to be there.
Yeah.
Some new people.
Sydney?
Sid. Yeah. She's going to be there. And I mentioned Amanda and Ken, 2 all-time favorites here. So you won't want to miss a day. And we definitely hope to see you right back here on another episode of Travel with Rick real soon. So long, everybody.
Bye.